Okay, hi everyone. We're here with Greg from Don't Tell Larry. Greg, how are you doing?
I'm doing
Welcome to
great.
Austin
Thank
Film
you.
Festival. How are
Thank
you?
you.
How are you doing? How was like your trip here so far?
Trip so far has been a whirlwind. It's been great. I've only been here for probably 48 hours. It feels like 2 weeks,
No,
but
I feel
it's
that.
great.
Yeah, we got here yesterday, and it's just been like a crazy whirlwind. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
Don't Tell Larry. This is a question for you, and also because of your co-director and writer. You guys have stated in the past that you've spent half a decade working on Don't Tell Larry.
Yes.
Um, Over the last decade of like preparing the story, getting into pre-production, even filming, what would you say you've learned the most about yourself as like a creative, as creative partners throughout this whole decade-long process?
That's a great question. I would say that I learned how to be patient. I've learned how to be, say, persistent. Um, it's not being too precious about your ideas, and it's learning to have really thick skin because in this business, at every stage of making a movie or working on a project, there will be rejection from someone or some entity. And it's finding ways to not be deterred by anytime someone tells you no. In fact, that's actually fuel to help you go further and to not necessarily double down on a certain idea, but to still just keep persevering and know that what you're working on is something that's important and special.
I love that. And so I mentioned that like there's a lot that's sort of changed with the story. Like I'm sure the stories went through so many different
Oh,
phases
yeah.
and so many different like pre-production things, also just filming, like different sort of a variety of different things have come up. What do you feel has changed the most about the story from when you first wrote it to now playing here at Austin Film Festival?
Another great question. So, the original script in the very first draft, we have our main character on like an e-scooter through the streets of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, holding a large cake, then getting to a port, like a boat, like a marina dock, getting on a canoe, and I'm not joking, and then going up the side of a boat with a cake. It was just a writing exercise. As soon as we realized, okay, this is all fun and all, how the heck are we going to shoot this? And so it's just logistically, the first drafts were written just like, if we could just write any story, what would it be? And then as drafts continued, we started to more refine and be more realistic about what was logistically possible. So I'd say that was one element. And another element was with our main character, Susan, and playing around with different goals. Ultimately, we landed on her wanting to be the CEO of this company, but at different points in time, we explored different ideas with her character and different ways that she and Patrick would interact. Originally, they were not close at all. They were just they didn't even know each other that well. And then when our two actors, Patty Guggenheim and Kenneth Mosley, met, we realized there's an undeniable chemistry between the two. And so we actually rewrote the script about a week before production to make some changes to have that these two characters were very close. And I think it was a great decision to do that because their chemistry on screen is
Yeah.
undeniable.
So you kind of talked about a little bit of the story. I won't spoil like anything about it because I feel like it's just one of those that you kind of have to go in
Yes.
and watch. Um, Don't Tell Larry at the end of the day is like a workplace comedy, and something that I noticed is in workplace comedies it's typically like very masculine, and so it's nice to have like a woman at the center of all of this and kind of like lying in a way to kind of get to this like very big CEO position because like at the end of the day we're all people, we all want to better ourselves and we kind of will do whatever it takes to really better ourselves as people to get to that position we want. Like you said, Susan wants to be CEO. um, what was the most appealing element of diving into like Susan's want to be CEO and her pull towards this?
Oh, I love that question, and thank you for saying that. So, yeah, I think what's really gratifying is how many people actually relate to Susan. Even if she makes some decisions later on that one would disagree with, I think most people can understand where she's coming from. She gets screwed over. She's clearly the right person for a job and opportunity. And she is so ambitious and so driven. And that's something that everyone can relate to. When there's something you want, a lot of times you're willing to do whatever it takes. Now, are some people going to go to the extreme length she did? I would hope not, but it's still a possibility. And I do think that there's a nice relatability there to her character. And I found that in her test screenings, people did seem to resonate with that.
Yeah, and I think Patty has this kind of aura to her that makes you really like her, but then also kind of make you question like this maybe isn't necessarily the best thing she's doing. Also too, with like the cast, what was like the casting process like did Patty sort of change anything with Susan? Because you mentioned that Susan and Patrick kind of changed throughout.
Yep.
When like the two actors met and they like ended up having really good chemistry. Was there any other relationships in the script that changed when the actors came on board?
Another great question. I would say so Kyle Kennedy, who plays Larry, he was originally part of the Don't Tell Larry web series, which was the genesis of our movie. So Kyle's the one who actually introduced us to Patty. They know each other from the Groundlings improv troupe, and there's an undeniable chemistry with those two as well. So I think we gave them a lot of creative liberty on set to kind of do some improv on a lot of scenes and to do what feels right. And the three of them together, it just, every time the three of them are in a scene together, it was always like the best moments on set because they all just played off each other so naturally. Originally, I think we were having it that everyone was going to be more distant to each other, and just naturally through who they were, everyone just kind of just gravitated towards each other. So I don't think there were any other character dynamics that really changed, but really with our main three, that's where some of the changes were evident.
And so you mentioned that Don't Tell Larry was actually like a web series. I'm
Yes.
taking a web series class right now, and it's so difficult to like do. So I give you guys like massive props for being able to change a web series idea to like a full feature.
Thank you.
Since this is Austin Film Festival, and it's like the Screenwriters Festival, it's dedicated towards writers, like our writers conference. What is a story that you've written? It can be like a script, a short story, anything that has helped you get to where you are in your career now that you really appreciate now that you look back on your career?
Can I answer and say, don't tell Larry?
No, that's totally fine.
I think it would be don't tell Larry. I think it's just when I've written scripts in the past, I don't think I've ever gotten past draft 5, and there was 21 drafts of this script to get to this point. And even 3 years ago, on I think it was draft 8, which I felt really good about, we submitted to this very festival, and we got a second rounder at the screenplay competition, and we got some really good feedback from the festival, and that helped encourage us to keep going. We knew that we weren't there yet, but we wanted to make this movie, so what changes could we make? So I think just being persistent with this script in particular and not giving up, kind of like Susan, just keep writing and rewriting it. We had many page 1 rewrites, and page 1 rewrites can be daunting, but when you really love something so much, it can actually be kind of fun.
Okay, yeah, I had no clue that you guys came to Austin Film Festival with the script. So like, that's such a cool thing to like know, like it's very full circle now.
Very
Like,
full
you're
circle.
Full circle that you're premiering here. Congratulations on the film. I'm so excited for everybody to watch it. I'm so excited for you guys and the cast to be here and for everybody to see it. And I feel like everybody should go watch Don't Tell Larry.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope they do. Galaxy Theater tonight, Friday, October 27th, 9:15, Wednesday, November 1st, 9:30 at the Rollins Theater, the Long Center for Performing
Oh my gosh,
Arts.
thank you so much.
Thank
it was
you.
so lovely to talk to you.
Lovely to meet you too. Thank you.